Hello everyone, this is the RPG Maker video, another one, for how to use Inkarnate. Now it's pretty simple, not too much you gotta do. Unless you want to go full on with it, that's gonna take a lot of work. But the best option when it comes to using Inkarnate for your RPG Maker game would be the world map. The world map is the best option for you to go for. Forget using RTP or the in-engine RPG Maker world map style of mapping. Forget that. It would be better off if you can just head over to Inkarnate, $5 a month, $25 a year, and just create your own world map and then import it to your game. Use some region restriction and yeah, and save it as a parallax or a layer. Now if you want to get the water moving as well, that's going to take some work as well, but it's not really that difficult. But I'm going to show you how to do that in another video. But this one is just going to be simply what you need to do to get started, and the exporting, and what you can do with the image. And then the next video I'm going to show you how to do all the layer parallax and more, some of the advanced stuff that I did, that I've learned. So yeah, so let's get started. The first thing you want to do is create new map, of course, or of course if you don't have Inkarnate, $5 a month, you can try it for a month. $5, not too much, but yeah. So fantasy regional would be best for you to pick. Pick fantasy regional, choose the style. Now do not click this, do not click this, do not click this, do not click this, or this, or this. Go to custom. Now in these two sections, you would want to put the tile size depending on the RPG Maker you're using, or whatever tile size of tile set you're using in the RPG Maker MG. So since you're using MV 48, create map. Now, first thing you want to know is this entire square that you can use to create your map is very much larger than the default MG RPG Maker aspect ratio when it comes to creating a new map. The 1713 by 1713 tiles, that would be like this much, around that much, or even less. So that's a lot of space you can fill in, a lot of space. But this is what you're gonna want to do. Start making your map. Now, the first thing you want to do is get rid of the stroke when you're using the create mask, which is gonna create the ground for your map. If you want to add some ripples, you can, some water effects. And if you want to change the color, you can, to make it look more, pop more. Alright, now when it comes to the asset, depending on the size, the default size is 100, but since you're going to export it to MV and MG, you would want to decrease the size. But that depends on what you're using. So for buildings, the best size for buildings when it comes to exporting to RPG Maker, MV or MG, or any tile set that are 48 by 48 size, 50 to 75 is the best size for you to use. between 50 and 75. That way it's not too big and not too small when you export it, and then when you import it to RPG Maker, it's large enough and not too big to where it's make the characters, the NPCs, or the player look like tiny people. So let's just place some random objects and make sure they're all a good size. Some of them stuff, some of the assets can be lower. So yeah, let me add one more. Let's add a random elf house. Let's just put it, let's put some object. Oh yeah, belly. Let's do a belly. Now if you place this bell and you go into RPG Maker, it will look way too big. Way too big. You see the size of this? It's very, 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 very bad, horrible, low quality, low res to see it. But when you export it, it's gonna look normal and high quality. So for objects that are smaller than humans or around the same size as humans, the best size you want to go for 25. 25, you keep it at 25 for the object. Buildings 50 to 75, maybe 90 depending on if it's like something that is bigger than a house, maybe like a tower, you would want to go for 100, or you want to go for 80. But for regular houses and buildings and places where people go to and to live, sleep, eat, places where people live in or stay at. 75 the highest, 50 for the lowest when it comes to the size. So after you finish placing everything you want to place in your map, you would want to start exporting what you place. Now, you go to export image. Now, if your PC isn't good enough, fast enough, strong enough, you probably would not bother with HD export. Even though it says experimental, it's actually very useful. So I'm gonna go for 8K, skip saving. Now it's gonna export. Now, what you see in the editor itself, the asset and everything is low resolution. But when you export it, it will look nothing like that. Especially if you use 8K or 6K or 4K. You can go for 2K, but it'd be best if you don't. If you want the best quality in terms of the Inkarnate asset to be in your game. So let's just save it. Now I'm going to switch over to PaintNet to do some editing. Or not editing, or show you what it looked like after exporting it. Where is it? What did I call it again? Not that one. Is it that one? No, this one. Okay. So this is what I just exported, what I just made. As you can see, you can actually see the bell, you can actually see the building far more clear when you export it to 8K. Now, I'm going to show you what it looked like when you export an RPG Maker character. So let's just grab a random RPG Maker character. and place it in there and show you the size. See, not too bad. They can actually fit inside perfectly well with the Inkarnate asset. Now you're probably wondering how will you go about doing the behind object, under objects, and whatnot. Now, depending on the type of ground you use, it may be very difficult to do that. But the magic wand can help out a lot. Or you can simply just create another layer, copy over the section that you want to use, and then simply just use the magic wand to erase the ground or anything that you don't want visible. So let's say the player can walk behind this, but they can't walk behind this, and they can't walk behind this. Oh, maybe they can walk behind this. Yeah, right here. They can walk behind that. Now, use the magic wand, make sure you erase everything but the and then you just erase all the stuff that's left over, clean up the asset. Make sure you erase everything. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but if you're good at photo editing, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. Now, if you're not good at it, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. I'm just trying to show you how you can do it. You can worry about the results later in another video. Let's just erase some of this stuff, but not all of it. Okay, and then now that you have this part, it really doesn't matter. You can save this as a parallax. You can save this image as a parallax. First, you want to crop the area you want to use so that it doesn't lag in the engine. So crop it, and then you simply just have the part you can walk under. Save this as a layer and place it above using Galv layer plugin. You can use this to play and have it like an upper layer, and make sure it doesn't move, and make sure the layer is also the same size as the image so that it doesn't appear in a different position. But yeah, if you got any questions, or if you're confused about anything I just said in this video, don't worry, I'll probably do another video going to more in details on how to do it fully. But yeah, first thing, to recap everything. So let's recap everything. Let's recap everything. First thing you want to do is create a new map. First thing, create a new map. Go to Regional, Fantasy Regional HD. Do not click any of these options. Go for Custom. Always go for Custom. Put in the size of the tile set you are using. So if you're using MV and MG tile set size, use 48 by 48. That way they can actually, move perfectly on the map you create. And then did I just quit the wrong one? I did. Let me do that. We do that. I don't care about editing. Go to 48 by 48. No edit. 48 by 48. Custom. Always go for custom. Do not change anything else when you're going into the setting of the creating a new map. Just put it at by 48 by 48 or whatever tile size you're using for your game. RPG Maker game or whatever engine. Now get rid of the stroke. The strokes, you don't want it. It looks ugly. Don't even use it. Depending on what you want to do with your water, you can add ripples. You can water ripples if you want. If you don't need it. Just place objects. Place some objects. Make sure all the buildings that you use are the size of 50 to 75 for the best size when exporting them to RPG Maker. For objects like a bill, best size would be 25 I mean. 25 would be the best size for the objects since they are smaller than the building, of course. Let's add another building. Alright. Put that at 75. Let's put it at 70. 50 to 75. And then once you're done, go to export. Hit HD export. Choose anything from 4K, anything from 3 to 8. I go for 8. If your computer is not good enough or fast enough or whatever the case is, don't go for it, but I go for 8. Hit 8K. It's going to export. While it's exporting, do not go to any other tabs on your internet browser, Google Chrome, Firefox, or whatever you use. Do not go to any other tab. It's going to slow the process, and it may even screw up the exporting. So just leave it for 30 seconds or a minute, and then it'll be done. And then once it's done exporting, go to your whatever paint software, photo editing software you use. Post. Import the image, and then just crop out whatever section of the image you want to use as your map. So if you want to use a small part of the map you made, just crop it out and use that part. Otherwise, if you use the full image that you exported, there may be some lag, or there will be some lag. And then for the layers, just simply when you want to do a layer, copy and paste the section you want to do the layer on, and just delete the ground. See how quick that was? Delete the ground. Delete the ground so that you can have it as a layer. And there you go. Save this as a layer for the above player, and then when you go into the engine, put this as a parallax, and then boom, you have this as a parallax, have some region restrictions so you can allow the player to move, or the NPCs, or whatever, or the event. And then have this as a layer using Galileo plugin or any other layer plugin you use. And there you go. I'm gonna show you how it looks in another video. This video went on for too long, but yeah. And know the editing, so every error you see in this video is gonna remain. But yeah, that's it for this video. I am out of here.